He's a bad beast on that barbecue, on the grill or the smoker. He knows just what to do. He's a bad beast on that barbecue.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Bad Beast Barbecue. I know it's been over a week since I put out a video, man, but you know, sometimes you get a little burnt out, so I had to take a little time off, okay? But we're back at it again. Today is a glorious day. I wish I could put this in a bottle and save it for those bad weather days, man. But today we're going to be taking a slab of ribs, and we're going to be doing one of my brother's, Big G's, favorites. He called it a pulled rib sandwich, but I'm going to be chopping mine. So we're going to be doing a chopped rib pull boy sandwich, okay? And we're going to be cooking it on the RECTEQ 700, all right? And the seasoning we're going to be using Blue Hog's dry rub seasoning, okay? So, hey, no further ado, no sense in keep talking about it. Let's go ahead and get the prep work started and get the RECTEQ fired up. We're using hickory pellets today, and we'll see how this sandwich comes out, okay? So, hey, hang around and don't go nowhere. All right, guys, so here's our slab of ribs that we're going to be using today. I've already taken the membrane off the back of it and trimmed off some of the fat. This is some St. Louis style ribs, okay? And before we season our ribs, I want to make a slight cut next to each one of the bones. That will make it easier to separate the bones from the meat once the ribs have been cooked, okay? So I don't want to cut all the way through. I just want to cut on each side of each bone slightly. Okay. Just like that. One more bone. And we're going to wrap these also so that they will steam a little bit and release, the bone will release easier from the meat. Okay. All right, so now that we've got that taken care of, we're going to be using some Pam olive oil. We're going to spray our ribs down, both sides. Okay. And like I said, we're going to be using this Blue Hog's dry rub seasoning. Good stuff here. I usually don't use any kind of sauce on my ribs, and we're not going to be doing any sauce on these ribs today either, because we have so many other ingredients that's going on to the chopped rib po' boy sandwich. Okay, so this is a pretty robust rub here. So as you can see, it's got some relatively large pieces of seasoning in it. So, all right, there we go. All right, so we're gonna let this bad boy sit here. I'll put it back inside so it won't be out in direct sunlight, and we'll let it get happy, and we'll fire up the RECTEQ. All right, guys, so our ribs have been on for 2 hours now. They are looking really, really good now. So we're gonna go ahead and wrap them. All right, we're gonna wrap them. We don't want them to get too much darker. All right, we'll put them back on here for another 2 hours, and they should almost be done. And then we'll go on to part 2 of our chopped ribbed sandwich. All right, now it's time for us to prepare the vegetables that's gonna go on top of our po' boy. We're slicing up a sweet Vidalia onion, green bell peppers, miniature sweet peppers, and a jalapeno pepper. The knife we're using is the Dalstrong Shogun Series X 6-inch Nakiri knife. The Shogun Series Nakiri knife is known as a vegetable assassin and is one of the most popular and essential blade styles among Asian knives. The blade is forged from a single piece of 66-layer Damascus high-carbon stainless steel and has a sharp scalpel-like edge. The hammer finished reduces drag and creates tiny air pockets, which minimizes stuck-on food. If you're interested in getting one of these knives, check out our description block for a 10% off discount code. What I can tell you is that this is my first time using this knife and it cuts like butter. Now that we got our vegetables prepped, we're going to saute them in 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. Here we're going to add a little slap your mamas for a little Cajun seasoning. And we're going to saute these vegetables until they get nice and soft. Now, after a total of 4 hours of cooking, it's time for us to prepare the rib meat. As you can see, some of the bones have already started coming out of the ribs. The cuts that we put down each side of the rib help them remove easily, plus the time spent inside of the foil steaming them made the meat nice and tender. Now we grab our Dalstrong Nakiri knife and go to work, chopping our rib meat, getting it prepared for the po' boy. Now it's time to put the po' boy together. First, we slather on a layer of Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue sauce. Next, we pile on layers upon layers of that luscious smoked rib meat. We then add our butter sauteed vegetables. And then we add shredded smoked gouda cheese. Now we just break out the chef's torch and melt that smoked Gouda cheese and hit that bread across the top for a little toasting action. Man, don't that look good. Man, I gotta say, this po' boy was a huge success. The smokiness and the tanginess of the meat, the buttery sauteed vegetables on top, the added flavor of the smoked Gouda cheese, Man, it does not get any better than this. Well, that's about it. Hey, thanks for joining us today. Like we always say, where there's smoke, there's fire. And if it's fire, then damn it, there just might be a barbecue there. Hey, as always, hey, we'll see you guys around the smoker.